A question that we have been getting asked a lot recently is which wire do I need for my strimmer? And whenever you look at the amount of different types available, it can be a minefield and it's just hard to know which one you need for your strimmer. So we're going to help you with that now. Firstly, we would generally ask two main questions. First, what are you strimming? And second, what size of strimmer are you using? So then, what size of strimmer are you using? For electric strimmers, we would recommend in and around a 1.6 to 2 mil line. If you're using a petrol strimmer that's up to 25cc, then again, in and around 2 mil would be ideal for you. If you're using a strimmer that's up to 30cc or in and around 30cc, then you could use a 2.4 or maybe a 2.7 line. And if you're going up to a 40cc, then use a 3 mil line. If you're using a heavy industrial strimmer like a 45 or a 50cc, then you could go as far as using a 3.5 or maybe even a 4 mil if there's space for it in the head. The standard round garden line would be something like this yellow line, and it's good for general all-round garden work. It's not too aggressive on any fence posts and will leave a nice finish. After the standard round line would be the dual line, and what you'll find, if a strimmer wire is too hard, it becomes brittle and will snap off. If it's too soft, it'll just wear away too quickly. So the dual line combines a softer outer core with a harder inner core for maximum durability. And it's also, with that softer core, it doesn't do damage to wooden structures like fence posts or gate posts or the base of a tree or whatever obstacles you might come across. There's then Dual Line Plus, which works on a similar technology but has a slightly knurled finish so that it gives a much more level swing whenever it's strimming, so that it leaves a nice level finish in your grass. And also the twist actually gives a noise reduction on it as well, so it's not as loud. If you're strimming for long periods of time, sometimes you find the strimmer head can get very hot, and that makes the wire difficult to get out because it can heat up and bond together. If that is for you, then the Techni 280 might be worth considering because it's actually heat resistant, and therefore whenever it heats up it won't stick together the same and will still be able to be pulled out easily. We'd also get asked what is the strongest wire, and if you're going into rough ground where you don't need as good a finish, all you need to do is get through it, then it might be worth considering something like the Nelium Star line, which actually has a star shape on it that gives it a sharpish edge to get a good cut, or even the Square line. Square line has the biggest surface area because of its square shape. It doesn't leave that good a finish because it will flap up and down a bit as it rotates, but for pure strength and for getting through rough stuff like nettles or dockings or weeds, the Square line would be the one to go for. Into ultra aggressive work, then we have a unique head from Oregon called the Jet Fit, and it comes in either 2 line or 4 line, so again depending up to maybe 30 to 35cc you would use the 2 line one, and 35cc plus you would use the 4 line head. And we'll just get a quick look at it now. So what it actually does, it replaces the head in your strimmer, and then you use pre-cut lengths, and you can use lengths like this Gator Speed Load, and you just slide it in, it clicks itself into place, and then it can't come back out again. And that is a very aggressive line for doing all kinds of rough work in around dockings or weeds or whatever. Maybe not so good for in around a garden because it might do damage to fence posts and the like, but certainly for rough work, this is the head to look at. One of the latest products to come from Oregon is this Gator Speed Load head, and what it does is it cuts out the awkwardness of having to take the head apart and wind all the new string into it. And again, that comes in a couple of different sizes depending on what size of strimmer you have, but on this, all you need to do is unclick the bottom of the head and simply slot in the wire that comes in disc form, so it just sits in just like this, and you click the head back on and that's you ready to go again. So I hope that helps clear things up a little bit. If you have any further questions, please feel free to get in contact with us at DW Toolshop, or go to dwtoolshop.com for the full range of strimmer lines and heads available.